We come to you guys with some breaking wrestling news and speculation regarding Becky Lynch's status in WWE as the Women's World Champion. Now, to say that there has been a lot of fan backlash following Monday Night Raw this week would be a massive understatement, because this week's show featured the Women's Battle Royal for the vacant Women's World Championship, the title that Rhea Ripley unfortunately had to vacate or relinquish the week prior because of a serious injury. And this week's episode of Raw featured the Battle Royal to determine the new champion, a match that featured the likes of Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and Nia Jax. And while a lot of wrestling fans were sure that Liv Morgan was going to be winning the Women's World title, as that would seem to make the most sense, as she was the one responsible for Rhea Ripley's injury, and they had Liv come out and antagonize Rhea after she vacated her belt. So for Liv's revenge tour to be taken to the next level, most felt it was almost a foregone conclusion that Liv Morgan was going to be winning this Battle Royal and kickstarting her run as the Women's World Champion. However, WWE swerved fans completely from what most felt like was the right booking call, as Becky Lynch ended up winning the match and the title, a booking decision that was called out by so many fans on social media afterwards, and it seems like most felt like this was an undeserved title win for Becky, and that she's basically becoming the female Hulk Hogan, and that despite Triple H ushering in a new era in WWE after WrestleMania 40, it's the same old kind of booking, with undeserving top stars winning the titles when they really shouldn't. The main reason why a lot of fans felt like this was a bad booking call by having Becky Lynch win the Women's World title over Liv Morgan is because of the fact that Becky had been feuding with Rhea Ripley leading up to WrestleMania 40, and ultimately lost her title match at the Showcase of the Immortals this year. And the interesting thing is that a lot of fans cheered for Rhea Ripley over Becky Lynch, despite Rhea being the heel and Becky being the face. And the reason for that was simple. Fans were tired of Becky Lynch and preferred Rhea as the champion, and that sentiment didn't change after Rhea was forced to give up the Women's World title, and most believed this was now Liv Morgan's chance to shine. With that being said, according to a breaking new behind-the-scenes report, Triple H has heard and seen all the backlash over his booking decision to have Becky Lynch win the Battle Royal and the Women's World title on Raw this week, and plans to correct this possible big mistake in the coming weeks on Raw. Now, one of our sources has reported that there's a chance that Triple H was fully aware of the reaction wrestling fans would have with Becky Lynch winning the Women's World title on Raw this week in the Battle Royal, and only booked this result because of the conversation and buzz it would create, because Hunter is apparently well aware of the fact that Becky Lynch isn't going to be sticking around in WWE for long following WrestleMania 40. A breaking new behind-the-scenes rumor has revealed that Triple H is reportedly planning for Becky Lynch to be forced to vacate or relinquish the Women's World Championship in the coming weeks on Raw, possibly on the upcoming April 29th edition of the show, and the way WWE would book Becky vacating the title would be for Liv Morgan to continue her revenge tour and attack and storyline injure Becky behind the scenes at Raw, leading to Becky Lynch officially being the second victim of Liv Morgan's revenge tour. Liv Morgan attacked and injured Rhea Ripley, who was then forced to vacate the Women's World Championship the following week on Monday Night Raw. And if these shocking rumors are true, Triple H and WWE are planning for Liv Morgan to pull off a similar stunt with Becky Lynch, although of course Becky's injury caused by Liv Morgan would only be storyline, whereas Rhea Ripley did indeed suffer a legitimate injury after her backstage brawl with Morgan. Now we have been told that besides the fact that Triple H knew having Becky Lynch win the Battle Royal and the Women's World title this week would create quite the stir in the wrestling community and get fans buzzing and talking about the women's division, which is ultimately what WWE wants, the second reason as to why Triple H essentially has given Becky Lynch a short transitional run as the Women's World Champion is because of the fact that Hunter feels Becky deserves one last big moment before she takes an extended break or hiatus from the company, and while WWE simply could not book Becky to dethrone Rhea Ripley of the title at WrestleMania, as the company had planned for Rhea to be the champion long after WrestleMania, not to mention Becky's break or leave from WWE, which we'll talk about shortly, but the fact that Rhea being forced to vacate the championship after an injury provided Triple H with the perfect opportunity to reward Becky for her contributions to WWE and have one last big moment before leaving the company. Now, when it comes to Becky Lynch taking a break from WWE, which is one of the biggest reasons as to why Triple H is allegedly planning for Becky to be forced to vacate or relinquish her Women's World Championship, the fact of the matter is that Becky Lynch had informed Triple H and WWE months ago that she would be leaving the company following WrestleMania 40, which was Becky's final contractual obligation with WWE during this run, and as some of you guys are aware, Seth Rollins also planned to take a break from the company after WrestleMania as well. Injuries or not, as Becky and Seth wanted to spend some time at home with family, and just take a break from the hectic schedule in WWE, as they've both still been full-time wrestlers during their latest runs in the company. However, while Becky was all set for her hiatus or break from WWE after her loss to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40, Rhea's unexpected injury following her backstage brawl on Raw with Liv Morgan effectively caused Triple H to tell Becky that he wanted her to stick around for a few more weeks, as there was a big opening, so to speak, for Becky to have one last big moment before leaving WWE. And while the plan moving forward is for Liv Morgan's revenge tour to continue with her reigning as the Women's World Champion, Triple H wanted Becky to have that big special moment before leaving, which at the same time creates a ton of buzz for the division, even if Becky's only going to be the champion for a week or so, and adds even more momentum to Liv Morgan and her revenge tour by taking out yet another champion and forcing them to vacate their title. And this time, after Becky vacates the Women's World title, Liv Morgan will be the one winning the vacant championship, so all of Liv's fans can be assured that Liv will get her big moment if these new rumors are true. Right now, we have no idea how long Becky Lynch plans to leave WWE for, but the reported sentiment behind the scenes is that Becky and Seth could be gone from the company for the remainder of 2024, so after Becky is attacked by Liv Morgan on Raw in the coming weeks, and is forced to vacate or give up the Women's World Championship, Becky Lynch could be gone from WWE for several months at the very minimum. Becky Lynch's and Seth Rollins' current WWE contracts are set to expire this coming June, and while no doubt Hunter plans to re-sign these two massive stars, which could be a reason why the company recently released or let go some names that weren't adding much to the current product, to free up some more money to make their top stars like Becky and Seth happy, they won't be appearing in WWE for quite some time, even if they sign new deals. If Triple H only planned for Becky to be a very short-term transitional champion to reward Becky for all of her hard work and create some buzz in the division at the same time, then this was a pretty smart plan that Triple H had, in our opinion, because he accomplished what he wanted to happen, and this would mean that WWE still planned for Liv Morgan to be the champion on Raw moving forward, heading into SummerSlam, which will be great news for Liv's fans out there. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.